Hello, welcome back to my channel if you've been here before, and if you're new, thank you for stopping by. I am going to attempt to catch up with the hashtag ABCJLC challenge from Jodi Lewis. I will put her links below this video. Every 2 weeks she takes a random generator and spits out prompts for each letter. I was very far behind. I'm four letters behind, and I have them all set up here. What I did is I gathered the pieces and the things that I thought I would put together so that I could get these finished and show a little bit of how I did it. Right now this is a chaotic mess on my desk, so I'm going to move some of the things out of the way, and I'm going to begin working on them. And I guess I should start with the first letter that's still missing from the group is L. Letter L. And the prompts for that, I use a card like this, and I'm putting them on a 3-ring binder. Well, I shouldn't say 3-ring, but just 3 rings. And as you can see, it's getting quite chunky. What I do is I just measure off the top part of this card, because my thoughts were that if I ever decide to choose to put one of them or all of them, use them in journals as time goes by, I would cut this part off. To be honest with you, some of them I would not use that way, because I just put them together. I don't particularly like them, but to follow the prompts, that's what I did. On this side then, as I write the prompts, and the letter S, the prompts were spoon, star or stars, ship, and the alternate optional word is sun. I like to do all of them. So what I did is I took the back of it was a page from a drawing book, a light cover, but a cover weight, and I just used blue. I used the chipped sapphire, I think is what it is. Chipped sapphire distress ink, and this is my makeshift little dauber. I have lots of daubers, but this is a wooden spool that I had, and it's quite ugly, isn't it? But I will continue using it for the time being. I used that on the background, and then I also used I also put some dried marigold down in this corner. And the reason I did that is because, well, I'll show you in a minute, but let's get started with this. I'm going to just use some art glitter glue to glue this down. Trying to line that up as evenly as possible. Okay. Now I wanted to put this as a sun setting, so I'm going to put that there. Whenever I go to the beach, my favorite event regarding the sun is not the sunsets, although they're very beautiful sunsets usually at the beach. but I love a sunrise at the beach. And so it's kind of what, but this is supposed to be a setting sun, and the reason it's going to be a setting sun is because um, I'm going to use stars, and we don't see the stars during the day. So these, I have a star punch, and I don't know if I still have it sitting here. It's very old. I must have put it away. My, that's special for me to have put something away. And one of the prompts was a ship, so I'm going to put the ship in here. Stars over here, I think. Not sure exactly how. And spoon. Well, that was a hard one, and I don't know. Well, some people are very clever in coming up with something that's more symbolic rather than literal. This is actually a page that I printed out of a photograph that I took. It was a photograph of a plaque. I was at the Seneca Lake in New York, and it was a couple of years ago. And in one area, they had statues that were showing I guess they're the Seneca Native Americans, Indians. And this was a spoon or a ladle that they showed on this placard that was there, and talked about the cooking ladles, and they were both functional and artistic. And women traditionally prepared food for the family and farmed the corn, squash, and beans that formed the bulk of their diet. So we can imagine that this ship is sailing to Seneca Lake. I don't know. That's silly, isn't it? And then this will be my tab, which I will probably put right up in here. So I'm just going to start gluing these down. And it's not one of my favorite pieces, that's for sure. But I couldn't come up or think of anything else. As I said, some of the people are so creative, and you could check them out by going to Jodi's Facebook group and seeing some of the makes. Let's see if I can get this underneath here. I should have moved that over a little bit further. I'll put it over top of the spoon, maybe. I don't know how important that is to know or see that or whatever. And then we'll put the ship. I think I'll put the ship up a little higher. Put the stars. This actually is a sticker. Yeah. I'm not going to do that. I'm sorry, this was not a sticker. Some of the pieces that I have here that I'm going to be using are from a sticker book, and I chose to put them on paper backing because of trying to gather everything together. I didn't want to put the stickers down on anything. I should probably be working with a tweezer. And I think the S will be fine over here at the end. Sorry about bumping the camera. Now because the pencil line, I put that pencil line, I'm going to erase that, but I'm going to try to hold it up to do that so that I don't, my camera's fastened to my desk, and I don't want to shake that. And I think that, you know, it's just very literal and not a very exciting piece. But when I look at it, it'll remind me of this strip, and I suppose that's the redeeming quality of this particular make. And I think what I'm going to do is go around the edges ink it with a little bit of that blue sapphire. And there. Letter S. Very literal. Spoon, star, ship, sun. So we can add that to our display. There we go. Letter S. Moving on to letter T. And letter T is 10 thread, teal, and tomato. So I went through and found pieces that I thought would work well with this, and I really like this chip paint piece, and I think I'm going to trim some of this off, tear that. And I don't know, sometimes I don't really like using glue stick for some of these things because they don't stay stuck. So what I'm going to do, I think, is put glue stick in the middle here. Sorry about my lighting in here, it's a lot of shadow in here. And then I'll put a little bit of the art glitter glue around the edges and hope that that will help it to adhere better. So line that up. Use my bowl folder to smooth that down. And then I was going through other pieces I had, and this is from Tara Brandon, one of her digital pieces. I thought that that teal, the butterfly, is great. And this is one of the stickers I mentioned. I have a sticker book. Oops, sorry, I'm trying to get the book. It's the antiquarian sticker book, and has pages like this with lots of interesting stickers in it. And so I'm trying to use them because while it's fun to look at these books, why do I want to keep it forever and not use it? It was purchased for me as a gift, and so I need to use it. This came from a magazine, and I was lucky to find a tomato, and I'm sorry to say, but that's the worms that you don't want on your tomatoes, because they will eat your tomatoes. So, but nonetheless, we're using him. And then this, like I said, is the letter 10. And because I'm going to take it off of there, I'm not sure where I'm placing it just yet. And here's the thread. Where did I had something else I thought that I was going to be using. 10 tomato teal. The thread. I guess that's everything. I'm not sure how I want to place things. I think I should just start gluing and not give it too much thought. It'll take longer to do this, and that's not my goal. I want to catch up with these letters. And then this week, it's Halloween week, and I would like to play every day doing a Halloween make. And I do have Tracy Fox. I have her Creep One June kit that I'm still working with, and I'd like to make a journal, or at least play with the tags, do more things with the tags each day. And even though this is a sticker, I'm afraid it won't stay stuck, so I'm going to add a little glue to the back of it. And the T, I'm going to start over at this end now on for our letter tabs. And I think maybe I'll just glue that thread down here. And that's going to take a while to dry. So, but there we have it. Letter T. Tomato, 10, teal. Tomato, 10, teal. Thread. That was the sound of the pronunciation of thread doesn't fit with the T sounds of teal, tomato, and ten. But yeah, thread. So there we have that. And I'm going to put it on to kind of get it out of the way. Even though it's still a little wet, I think it'll be fine. I'm not going to be bothering moving it around too much. There we have the tea. Next is U. U is very interesting to me. The U prompts were umber, UFO, underground, and up. I was a little bit uncertain of what I was going to do with this. What I did is I took, I have these crayons, very old. It's a Prismacolor, Burl Prismacolor, and it's a stick. It's a crayon, and I just laid this page down and just rubbed over it, and it created the effect with all the little textury looking bits on there, which I thought, well, that's pretty cool. I like it. So that's how I got the color, and then I took my Distress ink and a rusty hinge and a dauber, and I just went all over the page with that, adding a little bit more color. Then I went through my pieces that I have, scraps and what have you. This is a sticker, and this is a sticker, and UFOs. Now, this is a man flying a bird wood contraption. I doubt very seriously that if it got off the ground, I can't imagine that it stayed very long. This is, of course, the pointing finger. This was paper. Oops, I just bumped the camera again. A gift. I had gotten a gift of fancy, or I don't know, what would you call it? Background pages, but they were just small pieces, and this is what it looked like. And in the background, as flying saucers, the UFOs and stars, but it was very difficult to see there like that. So what I did is I took a little bit of the chipped sapphire over it and kind of gave it more of a bluish tone, but I didn't really care for that. But then I found I have one of those crayons with a white, and I just rubbed that over the piece, and of course it made the planets and stars and what have you pop. If you rub your finger over it, it kind of blends it in better. Anyway, I thought that's great then for, and this then too I thought was great for the umber color. And I'm going to, and I did write the word rest in here because it's my hope that I'm going to get this tombstone, which is a die cut that I made. The rest, hoping the words rest, and this is going to serve for the underground. So here we go. I'm going to start putting these elements down, and we'll begin with this piece. Oh, well, I'm not doing a very good job of that. Okay, let's add a little bit of think I'm just going to keep this sort of centered. And I want to put the planet and the UFOs and the stars at the top here on an angle. And I think to make sure that I get it, what I did is I did this the tombstone die cut, and then I put, because I want it to pop, I put the double back tape, like, I don't know what it's called right now, to help raise it, to give it a more lifted appearance on the page. I want to take off all these little pieces. It's a little fiddly. I probably can do better with my fingernails than with that tweezer. And this tombstone, what I did I was inspired by Belle at Bellaboo Creations and Jodi and Tracy, all the different people that I watch. They use the glow in the dark techniques, and I thought this is a perfect time for me to try it. And so I used the Versamark, and I used the Wow glow in the dark embossing powder. And the first time I did it, it didn't seem like it worked very well. And so I did it again, and I tested it, and it does glow in the dark. So I don't know if I can figure out how, like Belle and some of the others, they'll take a photograph of this in the dark and put it on the video. I don't know if I can do that. I could give it a try. Oops. Now I just tore my sticker, and I didn't want to do that. But anyway, let's get this guy flying high. There we go. Flying high in the sky. And I think this is where his tail is. He lost his tail wings. His tail. Surely he's not going to make it now. You can't lose your tail feathers. Your tail. And of course you can see that where it tore. Not happy about that. Well, I don't know if I can use a little bit of no, I'm probably going to make it worse if I keep messing around with it. Yeah, that's okay, isn't it? Please say yes. This is another sticker. Let's try not to tear this one on though. There we go. It feels pretty sticky. I don't think I'm going to put glue on the back of that. And pointing up to this brave soul up in the sky. Okay, so we can get rid of those pieces. Whoops. Glue fell down. Okay, I think I'm going to have to put a little bit of glue underneath this. So up, underground, umber, UFO. Up was the optional, so umber, UFO, and underground. We've fulfilled the obligations for the letter U, except now I have to add the U. And that one, I'm going to be going over this. So, let's see, I think I want to put it about there. So what I'm going to do is, I just realized my camera's really not at a very good angle, is it? I'm sorry about that. I'll put a mark on there where I'm going to punch the hole, reopen the hole then for that. And this is one of the like a whale's tail that I made, and I'm using, did I line that? That wasn't very smart of me, was it? I think that's, let me see. Hopefully I can do that. Well, I guess we'll find out. I got it lined up at the right place. Use my handheld crocodile here. No, I can tell that's not correct. No, 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 no. Maybe what I should do, punch this twice. Let me see. No, that's not going to work. Let me see. Backwards. No. You're probably all yelling, don't do it that way. There. I think that should be okay. I hope so. I don't know. On to the last letter that we need to do to catch up. That's letter V. Vintage Velvet Vowels Volume. I used my stamp set, my letter stamp set. I put all the vowels that were in the set together and just randomly stamped them onto this background. Going through my stash, I found a vintage sewing machine advert, I guess you would call that. And this is another vintage tag, too, that I found. Not tag. Label. And in a thesaurus, I found the word volume. And it says book, tome, dimension, compass, size, bulk, mass. Well, I went with this theme of a young man, I would suppose a librarian, carrying a stack of books, volumes of books. And then velvet, I have this ribbon, and I will do a collage with that, and I did make a bow to add on the page somewhere, and then the tab with the kind of a violet color V. So let's put that together. I kind of like both of these, even though it's not necessary to have both. Child Brothers and Childs. I guess it's from the same catalog. I don't know. But anyway, you could get a vintage sewing machine or bulbs that bloom. Plants, shrubs, and fruits. Let's see. Maybe we'll just add that at the top. Use a little bit of my art glitter glue here. And this was a sticker also. I'm going to add some glue to the back of it and hope that I'm not sorry that I'm placing it here. Do I want that on there? I don't know if I want that on there. Let's put some of this ribbon on here. Let's go along the bottom here. That was backwards. Should try to flatten this out a bit. Am I gonna like that at the bottom there or not? Let's trim this off, see if I do. I'm not sure if I like that there. I know that this is going to have to go here. And I think this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark that. And punch the hole in before I put the glue. My crocodile. I hope that works. I think it does. I'm not sure how I want to place anything. I think I will tear more of this off and use, put a little ink on that edge. I don't know that I really need the bow, but I think we're going to go like that. And maybe I should look for a little piece of lace or, I don't know, something else to go there. A piece of fabric maybe. I'll do that. I should probably have used tacky glue. I mean, not tacky glue. Fabric tack, that's what I'm thinking of. I hold that down for a little bit. And I think we're going to say that's it. I'm going to add a little bit more glue to that ribbon. I find that my Fabric Tech bottle is very hard, and I'm sure you've noticed I have arthritis, and squeezing that bottle to get the glue out is not easy, not an easy task. I recently saw someone using the Fabric Tech, and they seemed to have a very soft bottle. So I think maybe I'm going to try to find another bottle and transfer the glue so that maybe it'll be easier for me to use it. And I think I'm going to do the edges, ink the edges of this. I thought I had ink, violet ink. What did I do with that? I don't see it here. I have the chipped sapphire, but I wanted to use I seem to have lost it. I don't know where is it. Oh, I see it. This desk is incredible. It's a very small desk, and it's very cluttered. It is my intention to remedy that very soon. Anyway, I think that I'm going to add some of this to the background, just simply because I'm not really crazy about the white. And even though the word violet is not one of the prompt words, it does fit perfectly with the V. Sorry about bumping the camera now. Anyway, there you have it. I'll wait till that dries, and that's it. I'm caught up. Until next week, off to play with some Halloween makes. Bye.